like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face, they all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. By my face, hey, don't got time to waste, yeah. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They just can't believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank up on my face. Hey, don't got time to waste, yeah. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They just can't believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank, yeah. I remember back when they said I won't do a thing now. Shawty, why you talking, huh? That's why you were fleeing, ooh. Did it by myself, no, I don't need a team. I told Famous and the Fire, I might go and do that team. There I go, man, I tell them all what's up now. Oh, now they all wanna fuss now. Don't look around in the city, when I look around, it's just now. Man, they wanna kick it when I touch now. Why you in the D and that's sus now? Talking about fam, you ain't cuz now. Calling me B, I got a buzz now. Yeah, now I got it going, I just no, it ain't just for the moment, I mean. Yeah, I bring the hammer, call me Thor. Yeah, I say my prayers, just be saying yours. You ain't know, I bet you know it now. Switching lanes, I can't slow it down. Doors were closed, but they open now. Yeah, they calling, think they notice now. By my face, hey, don't got time to waste, yeah. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They just can't believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank up on my face. Hey, don't got time to waste, yeah. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They just can't believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank.
By my face. Hey, don't got time to wait, yeah. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They just can't believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank up on my face. Hey, don't got time to waste. I don't need permission, I'ma do it all today, yeah. They believe it, man, that's all they gonna say. See these plays up on my Spotify, that's money in the bank.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream. Mrs. Candles, can you come back in here really quickly and turn on that camera, please? Shout out to Tony D, the birthday boy, who is actually, I believe he might be responsible for that camera not being on. There we are. What is going on, Candle Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in, and welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's a very special day here. Oh, Mrs. Candles, come on, come closer so they can hear you. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Candles is celebrating. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. But, guys, today's a very special day. And shout out to our boy, Tony D. It is his birthday. He is finally turning the ripe age of 53 years old. Shout out to Tony D. I'm just kidding, guys. He's not turning 53. But shout out to Tony D. I'm going to get back to him in just a minute. But, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin today. As yesterday, we did wind up getting a little move to the upside. We are in a long position. We showed that yesterday. We are getting a little bit of a pullback today. But I want to break down the price action with you guys. Are we likely to put in a higher low here before continuing back to the upside? We are sitting within our volume profile, which is starting to give me a little bit of hope to see a follow-through to fill the rest of this volume profile, which could potentially bring us up into the 70,000s and potentially beyond. And as you guys know, that daily money flow has not been looking too good, but it is starting to come back to the upside. Are we going to finally see that money flow fake out? We're going to be looking at the possibilities of that today because there are some things pointing in that direction. So buckle up. It's going to be a good stream. And famously, guys, it's going to be a short stream. We are taking Tony D out for his birthday tonight as he deserves it. But real quick, guys, before I jump into the charts, I want to seriously thank Tony D. Happy birthday, bro. I mean, I was just with him, but happy birthday, bro. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. And if you guys know anything about this YouTube channel, whether you talk to him in the chat, whether he's helped you out in the Discord or answered your DMs and helped, I know Tony D has helped everybody out here in some way, shape, or form. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. Happy birthday. And with that being said, all of the super chats and all of the live stream revenue from today's show is going directly to Tony D. So if you want to wish him a little bit of happy birthday, drop him a little bit of love, go ahead and send those super chats. I will give all that revenue to Tony, and then whatever YouTube takes, I'll obviously cover that. So shout out to Tony D. We love you, bro. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and say what's up to the Mafia. Don't forget to smash that like button. Tony D said all he wants for his birthday is for the Mafia to get us to 750 likes. And we're going to have to get to tapping that like button pretty quickly because it is going to be a short stream. But shout out to Tony D. Drop some love. And we're starting off with Wick589 said, candles on cake. Tony D's Tony D's Flames, did they set off the sprinklers? Tisk. Sorry, you're that old, man. Happy birthday, brother. And then Tony D super chatted himself and said, infinite money glitch. Let's go. Shout out to Tony D. And Creighton C, let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Dropping that. Where am I doing? I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Dropping that $100 super chat, said, what? The first super was for the coat check, girl. This is for drinks and maybe a dance from Candy and Sunshine Cali. Happy birthday, Tony. Oh, my God, the chat is flying right now. All the love in the world from the Mafia. Shout out to Crane C. Thank you so much for that. Tony D, stop super chatting your own birthday. Oh, he's trying to glitch the system. I see what he's trying to do. Shout out to Tony D. Do your thing, bro. You deserve to glitch the system here. But, guys, send those super chats if you love Tony D. And without further ado, shout out to Chemistry Bro in the chat. Thank you for everything you do as well, guys. Show the mod some love. We got Curtis Neal. It's crazy that you were the first name I saw. Curtis Neal's birthday is today as well, so happy birthday to Curtis Neal. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being such a big part of the Mafia. And then shout out to American Crypto. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. We got Darla in the chat. We got Wick589, as we know. Jacko, I assume. Melissa, what is going on? We got Sally in the chat. Man, I think that female CandleMafia is starting to grow. We got Stupid Bitcoin as always. John Bucci, my paisan. What is going on, guys? We got the whole crew here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and spit some of that Tony D, Curtis Neal birthday sauce. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. And we did get a little bit of a move up. And just so you know, guys, if the super chats start coming in, I will come back to them. I do want to get through the TA here because, again, might be a little bit of a short stream, famously. But I want to get through some of the important TA here. And as you guys know, right, let me just kind of break down this price action from a little bit of a zoomed out perspective. And as you know, right, this money flow crossover on the daily was pretty bearish, right? And still technically is, pretty bearish, right? Because as this money flow crosses into the red, we would assume, right, based off that information, that we are likely to continue our trend to the downside, which is why we have this key level down here, which still remains a key level. If we break these lows at about $57,000, the next likely stop for Bitcoin is going to be between $52,000 and $50,000 down at this high volume node or volume profile, depending on how you're looking at it. But this is still the key level. But as you guys know, we also know where we are in the cycle and how typically, at this point in the cycle, fake outs on money flow are likely. Now, granted, we have not gotten that, instant fake out like we like to see back here. We are starting to see money flow start to shoot up pretty quickly here. And just like yesterday, we were starting to move in the right direction, and we are potentially starting to continue in that right direction. So this actually doesn't look too horrible to me. Now, again, this is still in the red, so it is kind of binarily bearish. But, if we do see this come up, I don't think it's impossible to cross back over into the green here. And I've done this so many times in the past as Bitcoin's been ranging for 2 months, or actually more than 2 months at this point. But when we come back in the past here, you guys can see typically after that halving, I usually bring up the cycle chart to take a look at this. But after that halving, we typically do not spend a lot of time in the red with money flow. As a matter of fact, you can see, oftentimes, we will get something like we are seeing right now, where you come into the red shortly and then come right back into the green. And even here, you cross over into the red and then you come right back into the green. And this was generally, right, if we were looking at this at the time, that would be pretty bearish, that money flow crossover. But because of where we were in the cycle, simply, right after the halving, obviously, we do typically see those bull runs start shortly after the halving. And, we could potentially see the bullish case here, guys, to see that bigger move up. We really want to see that money flow do something like it did back here in July of 2020, right? And I would say, right, it's not, typically history doesn't repeat itself, but it oftentimes rhymes. And as you guys can see, we may be starting to see something very similar play out here. Now, the one thing I am not liking about this is simply that if this VWAP starts to roll over and gives us a red dot, you could get dragged back into the red. And that's why I'm not necessarily just, I'm not calling this like, oh my God, the fake out happened. We're all good, ready to go. As long as we do remain in the red, you still have to keep that sentiment of like, hey, this is technically bearish. But again, we are moving in the right direction. And once we talk about the key levels, hopefully we can clear some things up for everybody. The super chats are going crazy for our boy. Shout out to Tony D. Let's see here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Ash says, I love when Frankie says short stream. You know we're in for a 2-hour stream full of hot sauce. Happy birthday, Tony D. Shout out to Ash. Thank you for wishing Tony a happy birthday. And Ash, I would sit up here and argue with you, but I can't. I'll lose that argument because you're absolutely right. Typically, we do go long, but now we do actually have a reason to get out of here because we are taking Tony D out. So, yeah, Tom, wouldn't be surprised if Tony D, like, bangs on the door trying to get us out of the house. But let's go ahead and continue on. And here we are, right? So as we move sideways here, guys, obviously we haven't really been getting any of these big moves to the upside. However, as you guys know, as traders, we have the beautiful opportunity to cash out on these little moves, as we range around not only in these bigger ranges, which we have been trading, and we are in a long position from down here. Shout out to the premium Discord. I should have been stopped out of this long, but it was low leverage, and whatever. We're still in it. We're up. We're in the green. But we are scalping these ranges, not only these larger ranges, but also the lower time frame ranges, which I actually want to get into in just a second. And real quick, I will pull up that trade just because I already am logged in. This is the same trade we showed yesterday. As you guys can see, I don't know if you could see this. I think I am covering this, but it is a $40,409 position, and we are up about 32%, $2,200. I am still holding this long position, and it is for a very specific reason. You might be saying, well, hey, Frankie, why are you still holding this position? What if we dump from here? It's not impossible, but I'm going to explain to you why I am potentially expecting at least a little bit more of a move up. Whether we get to that 70,000 and above level is going to be another story, but there is a reason why I am potentially anticipating a bigger move to the upside or a little bit of a continuation to the upside. And not only that, I'm going to give you guys that line in the sand that would kind of make me completely walk that back and kind of cut those losses and be like, hey, I don't think we're getting that continuation. But we are starting to see a pretty nice setup here. Shout out to Femex. If you guys want to sign up and trade with your trade your favorite altcoins or Bitcoin with or without leverage, you can check out Femex. Link in the description down below. I'm sure Tony D will probably drop it in the chat if you guys are interested. And by the way, guys, I know a lot of people are having trouble with exchanges changing their KYC policies or whatever, but I do believe that if you are having trouble, a lot of people have been having a lot more luck with Blowfin, which is another exchange that we have used in the past. I believe Tony D could probably drop the link in the chat if you guys are looking for a place to trade and you keep getting denied from other places. Blowfin does have, a lot of people have a lot of luck with Blowfin, so you guys can check that out if you'd like. But let's break down this price action and talk about why I do think we could potentially continue to the upside here. Now, it does there's kind of a couple things I'm looking at here, right? And it has to do with the volume profiles, as always, as well as market structure, and the fact that we are remaining above certain key levels. Now, obviously, as you guys know, we have this volume profile that we've been looking at. It's essentially the volume profile or the range that started this sideways action, which we've been in for about 78 days. Yes, I know we've had little dumps here and there, little pumps here and there, but for the most part, guys, we have been ranging between $59,000 and $74,000, with nothing else really exciting happening, right? But as soon as we have broken above this value area low, this is kind of where we are saying, hey, we are now accepted back into this range. And what do we always look for with these volume profiles? And it has a lot of the reason why I was entering this long position that we are now up $2,200 on. One of the reasons that we were looking to enter this trade is very simple, right? Let me hide these fibs just so I can clear up the price or the chart a little bit. Simply, guys, you deviate above the high, you look for your bearish confirmations, which we did actually have here just looking at the 4-hour. You had a nice bearish divergence with your money flow coming out. I love the combination of the volume profiles and market cipher with the money flow and Lux Algo if you're looking at that as well. I want to talk about Lux Algo. Actually, part of the reason I am holding this has to do with something on Lux Algo, but when you deviate above these highs, this is an overvalued asset. This is typically where you want to look for your short positions, and this is typically where a lot of new people or new traders or retail will kind of try to trade the breakout, but not the mafia. The mafia knows, hey, we may be overvalued here, and we look for the shorts, and then everybody else gets wrecked. Not everybody, but a lot of people decide to get wrecked or wind up getting wrecked, and then we are simply looking for the short back into the range, back to the POC, and then back to the value area low, and obviously more often than not, we do wind up getting that in both directions, deviate below the low, undervalued asset. This is where we're looking for the longs as everybody is panicking. Oh my God, we're losing support. We're going to zero, short. All those shorts get trapped down here. We look for the long you get back into that volume profile, flip the value area low to support, right back to the POC, right back to the value area high, and then just rinse and repeat. Now, I don't want to make it seem like it's that easy. Obviously, you have to know what confirmations to look at because obviously we all know just because you're above this line does not mean you're guaranteed to come back down. So there are things you have to look at. I mean, low key, money flow is one of the big things that I like to look at, amongst other things such as order flow. But, you know, simply put, the reason we were looking for the long down here was, I mean, hey, we were deviating below the volume profile, looked for bullish confirmations, got them, and then we are anticipating a move back into the value area low, or above the value area low, and then once we remain, or as long as we remain above this key level, which, by the way, guys, is sitting at $63,133, in my opinion, this keeps the door open to our POC, which we just barely front ran here. The POC is sitting at about $67,000 even, and we did just about front run that level just a tiny bit, came up to about, let me get the exact number here, 66,800. But for the most part, guys, just based off the simple volume profile theory, the idea is look for the deviation, look for the long confirmations, get back into the range, and then as long as we remain above this level, we are going to be potentially looking to go to the POC, and then if we're able to flip this POC and technically this naked point of control up here, that is where we're going to look for the continuation up to that value area high, just like we were looking for here, here, and here, right? It's no different, right? And, you know, that's kind of reason number one. We're back inside our volume profile, right? And we're not, like, faked out into it, right? We're, like, pretty decently up in here, right? We're pretty close to the POC, which does act as a magnet for price. So that's kind of reason number one. Now, I do want to talk about the key level we must hold, which I know I kind of just said. It is the value area low here at 63, coming in at about 63,165, give or take a few bucks. But we also have these Fibonacci Golden Pocket 786 retracement. And here's the thing, guys. If we are going to see price come up in here, right, there is a possibility that we could come down. Shout out to the premium Discord. We were looking for scalp shorts up here. I personally didn't take the trade because I was out to lunch with Tony D for his birthday. But we did get some scalp shorts up here to get this little pullback, but the context of this pullback is not necessarily going to be to hold this down to much lower prices. Why is that? Well, number one, you're inside the volume profile, right? And if we are going to pull back here, you know, where are we likely to put that higher low in, right? Because as you can see, if we come down into this golden pocket or even the 786 value area low confluence, which is in perfect confluence, if we come back down here, this, in my opinion, is the likely area to put in that higher low before potentially continuing back to the upside. Very similar to what we saw happen right here, right? We deviated below the low. This is where you would be looking for long positions. You get back into the value area, up to the POC, and then you come back down to test that golden pocket 786, to test the value area low, which very often is going to be a golden pocket 786 retracement. You can see we came down, tapped that 786. This is why you're not panicking as you break this level of support, right? Because you may just be going for that 786. You hold it at the value area low as support, and where do you go? Right to that POC, right to that value area high. So very similar situation, in my opinion, right here. If we were to get that pullback, this is going to be the zone that we absolutely must hold. And if we are unable to hold this level, I do think it is going to be more likely to break down a little bit lower here, where we do have some other key levels. Number one, yeah, like that's the general idea. Before I confuse everybody with all the different levels, that's the general idea, right? Now, another thing here that I am looking at on the higher time frames is if we pull up Lux Algo really quickly. Now, obviously, you can look at market structure without Lux Algo, but if you are new to trading or just new to looking at the charts, the Lux Algo price actions concepts, this actually had a lot to do with why we were looking for the not only the short, but why I'm looking at the context of the short that we took on the lower time frames in the premium Discord. I am looking at that as a potential retracement, right? Not like a big dump, but a small pullback to the downside before putting in a higher low and continuing up. And I'm going to confirm this with Market Cipher in just a second, but I want to talk about the market structure here for just a minute because this is pretty important, right? We just got a change of character on the daily time frame. This would technically be a bullish thing, right? So when you get a change of character like this, what I personally like to do, and again, I'm going to talk about Market Cipher as well because there's other reasons. This is based off market structure, but there's another way to use money flow to kind of anticipate the same exact thing. But as we see here, we have a change of character, which would be bullish, right? And once we get that change of character, I talk about this all the time. This is typically where you want to look for pullbacks. This kind of makes it safe, right? Safe, quote unquote, to look for longs. So as we pull back here, I am going to be anticipating a potential higher low to continue or to come in to get that continuation to the upside, right? And then another thing I do kind of use to confirm that is going to be not the liquidity swings. We do like to use the why can't I? What the heck is going on here? There we go. Now, obviously, it's not showing up on the daily, but this is typically where you get a change of character. Look for the pullback to the downside to put that higher low in, and this is typically where we look for that higher low to come in on a smart trail, right? And if you could get those golden pocket 786 retracements to be in line with this smart trail, it is going to be a little bit more of like a golden entry for me. Now, I already am in the long position from down here, so I'm not worried about catching that higher low. But really, if we see price come down here, and look at this, right? 786, and that smart trail is coming up beautifully on the 4-hour here, beautifully in confluence with that value area low, 786 golden pocket. So again, just adding more validity to the potential, right? Doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to hold this level, but we need to know this information because it's a possibility, and if we see it play out, it could be a very, very nice long entry, not financial advice, but it could be a potential good long entry. And the idea here, guys, and even on the 4-hour, right? Change of character. This is where I look for the pullback to put in a higher low. Now, the change of character is why I'm not looking for a massive dump. However, once we start losing this golden pocket 786 retracement, then maybe we can look for lower prices. But based off of this would make us anticipate that higher low and a continuation to the upside. And the fact that we have the change of character on the daily as well would definitely be a good sign. And then we're also inside the volume profile. So again, I don't want to put too much hopium out there. This doesn't guarantee we get the pump. But even on top of that, guys, we also have obviously we have that inverse head and shoulders that could potentially be lining up, right? You have the left shoulder, the head, and that right shoulder. And if we wind up just drawing this, if we wind up drawing this neckline, right, if you were trading this pattern, right, if you were just trading this inverse head and shoulders, a lot of times what I would like to do, back when I used to trade patterns, is I would wait for the breakout, but I wouldn't just buy on the big pump, right? I would wait for the pullback and retest the neckline. And look where that neckline is beautifully confluent with, right? It's not only not confluent with the 786 golden pocket, but also if we see that 4-hour smart trail come up in here, guys, this is a pretty confluent level in my opinion, right? So market structure-wise, volume profile-wise, trading pattern-wise, there are a lot of reasons to look for a higher low here. And the good thing about this is we now have a good idea of if we don't get this, probably going to get that bigger move to the downside. So this is kind of the must-hold area for me on Bitcoin to get that continuation to the upside. And because of all of those reasons, right? Not just one indicator, not just one single thing on the chart. All of these things are confluent and make me a little bit more comfortable holding that long position. Now, I will be honest with you. Obviously, we are up. I probably will TP this a little bit. Probably when I get off the stream, I probably will TP this a little bit, lock in the profits, move my stop loss to entry in case we do get a bigger breakdown. That would kind of, I do want to protect myself in case we do, right? I'm not sitting here saying we're guaranteed to go up, but if I could lock in $1,000, right? And then, that puts me in a beautiful situation because if we get stopped out, I make $1,000, no big deal. It's definitely not a loss, right? But then if we do put in that higher low and get the move to the upside, I can continue to get paid out on this long. So that change of character, guys, is important, right? Let me pull that back up real quick. That change of character is kind of what makes you expect price to continue and give you a break of structure. Like you could see it even right here. You get a little change of character. You come on down, test that value area low. Maybe it was a golden pocket 786. Maybe the smart trail was there as well. But this change of character makes you anticipate a continuation to the upside and a break of structure, right? And then as long as you continue that way, that is what you would expect until you get a bearish change of character. And then you get that bearish change of character. Now you're expecting lower prices to come, right? And then boom, bearish break of structure, and then you get a swing break of structure, and you do get the continuation to the downside. This is very important to remain on the right side of the market. A lot of people will see, and we talk about this very, very often, because sometimes people will come in and they'll be like, oh, it's going down, we're bearish. But if you don't understand what you're actually looking at, a lot of people are like, oh my God, now we're bearish, we're going back down. But the market structure or this bullish change of character would actually make you anticipate a move up. So instead of just looking for this to short to zero, sure, we could catch that scalp short, shout out to the premium Discord, and we could profit on that move down, but we understand that it is more likely to just put in that higher low, and it may not be the best time to close all your longs because we would be anticipating something like this to come in based off that change of character. Doesn't guarantee it'll happen, right? This stuff is not going to play out 100% of the time, but it will play out more often than it doesn't. And as long as you can get a strategy that wins more than it loses, even if it's not that great of a percentage, and you can manage your risk, that's how you can become profitable over time. So there you go. And obviously you can look at this without, you could like eye this up. But to be honest, guys, for me, I like to have that market structure labeled. It's just so much easier to see it like pop up automatically. So that's what we're looking at here, right? And that's just another reason on why I am going to be holding that long position, but not gambling and holding the position and hoping for it to go up, right? Even though we have these confirmations, we have to understand that there's still a possibility that it's going to break, that it could break down. But those are the reasons for the move to the upside. And again, now you guys have that line in the sand of, if that level's broken down here, that's probably going to be that daily money flow may not fake out back into the green, and we may be on our way for a lower move to the downside. So there you go, guys. That is what I'm looking at. Shout out to Lux Algo for helping us out with that market structure. If you guys want to sign up for Lux Algo, link in the chat and the description down below. They do 30-day free money, full money back guarantees. If you guys are interested in checking that out, and this stuff is just like a few different features of the indicator. But there you go. And if we go ahead and really quickly pull up Market Cipher, right? What are we going to be looking for as we look at some of this other money flow, right? Look at this 12-hour money flow. Not looking too bad here, in my own personal opinion, right? 12-hour money flow is creeping up towards that zero line, and what would this make us anticipate? Well, we would anticipate the 12-hour to front-run the daily, right? So if that 12-hour money flow crosses into the green, we could expect that to leak into the 16-hour, leak into the daily, and then maybe that's where we get the fake out. But once this crosses into the green, sure, VWAP is coming down. It's probably going to give you a red dot up here, which is probably going to result in a little bit more of a move down. But what's your money flow pointing towards? Money flow indicates the longer-term trend. So sure, that red dot can pull you back a little bit, but what is going on here? My phone just went crazy. As this money flow comes up here, you would expect, I'm going to say it. I don't care that you hurt your elbow. I'm just kidding. If you know, you know. But, what would that, even though you get the red dot, that technically a little bit bearish, right, in the short term, but that money flow would make you anticipate what? A lackluster move to the downside to put in a higher low and continue to the upside, right? So we have a lot of things pointing towards a potential continuation to the upside, but please, for the love of God, these things don't play out 100% of the time, but the information on the charts here could point to a short-term or a medium-term continuation through the rest of this range. And the key level of resistance we must break is, in my opinion, not just the POC, but this daily naked point of control. If we do put in the higher low, maybe we put in a higher low, maybe we don't come all the way down, right? But if we do put in that higher low and we flip that daily naked point of control, this is where we were going to be looking for that bigger move to the upside. So there you go, guys. Pretty clean-cut TA here on Bitcoin right now. Beautiful to see us back in this volume profile, and it's honestly nice to just have a clear-cut invalidation for that continuation. And there you go. That is what I am looking at on Bitcoin. And I am going to, oh my God, look at this, Tony. They love you, bro. Shout out to the super chats. I am going to come back to these real quick, but I'm going to jump into the altcoins super fast here. Go ahead and spam those altcoins. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, I don't know, altcoins. Go ahead and drop them, spam them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob is going to count up the votes. Our typical CandleMafia birthday boy. But like I said in chat earlier, Rob's got some birthday competition today between Curtis Neal, Tony D, and I don't know. I'm sure some other people out here have some birthdays going on today. I guess May 16th is a popular birthday. But real quick, guys, I'm going to jump on into Ethereum while you guys spam those alts, and Rob the Crypto Snob counts up the votes. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Wants to see GME and AMC. First, let's take a look at Ethereum, and then I will take a quick look at those. Are they going crazy again? Let me see here. Okay, yeah, okay, they're pulling back. We will take a look at these in a second because we don't really look at stocks that often. But I'm curious to see if our levels get respected here. But taking a look at Ethereum really quickly here. And guys, once you guys stop with the altcoin spams, go ahead and drop a game. Is there a game controller emoji? Drop some kind of emoji that lets me know that you guys bought GameStop. And I'm really curious how much of the mafia actually buys meme stocks on top of their meme coins. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to American Crypto Monster. Says, Frankie, do a meme coin show. Shout out to American Crypto Monster. I'll be honest, right? We get a lot of people asking me to look at meme coins on this show. And to be honest, it is a little bit hard because a lot of the meme coins are very new. You got to look at DEX tools. Sometimes they don't respect the TA. The new meme coins don't respect the TA as much as a coin that's been around for a little while, as they're very easily moved, as they have very low market caps. But maybe we can do that, like kind of separate it where we just go live. No one's expecting like TA on normal stuff, but we just pull up DEX tools. We pull up whatever to pull up those degenerate meme coins, and the TA, not the TA, but the decision making that goes in for me personally to buying meme coins is much different than how I would leverage trade Bitcoin or buy some legitimate project, right? It's a lot different. There's a different strategy. There's a different mindset than just going on the chart, finding a bullish confirmation, and just longing the thing. It is a little bit different, right? Because it is a little riskier because they have lower market caps, etc. But with that being said, let's take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll jump into GME, and then we'll take the requests. Let's see. Tyler Durden said, stocks, how dare you, candles. But anyway, let's take a look here, guys. So on Ethereum, as you know, I'll be honest, right? Like losing this, let me go ahead and get rid of this fib real quick. This was kind of key here. I will be honest. This POC was key. We really wanted to hold above this, guys. And to be honest, now we're losing the value area low. Now, this isn't where I just panic and like panic short, right? But we really wanted to hold this. And if we weren't going to hold this, we definitely wanted to hold this. And we are now cracking that, at least on the 12-hour here. Taking a look at the lower time frames, yeah, we are starting to lose this value area, which in my opinion, to be quite honest with you, is not the best sign. So we don't hold these local fibs down here. I believe this is a tapped daily naked point of control. Obviously, we did hold this before we got the move back into the range. But I'll be honest, I don't really love this rejection on the POC. This is not that pretty. And if we see Bitcoin do something, see, like Bitcoin's pulling back. But again, remember, the market structure is still looking good. Ethereum getting kind of sketchy here if we don't bounce off that 786. So yeah, once we break that 786, in my opinion, this daily naked point of control is now tapped. So I'm actually going to take it off the chart. But, we do have a fresh daily level down here. So I will mark that out, actually. Somewhat of a daily level. So let's pull that up. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of your, lose the 786. That would be bearish in my opinion. But once you come down to that daily, that's kind of your last line of support. 2880 is going to be that key level that you absolutely do not want to lose, because if you lose that level, guys, probably going to be making your way down into 2786 and potentially even lower, down to about 2642. Because as you guys know, if we pull up that VPVR, we've been looking at this a decent amount recently. Let me go ahead and hide these levels. Bada boom. I'll actually even take the TA off to make it nice and clean. As you guys can see here, these lows are very important to hold because we do not really have much. We have a couple of levels down there that we just talked about. But for the most part, once you lose this level, probably going to get a bigger move down to this little shelf of volume, getting closer to it's about 2680, right? 2640. So pretty important that we hold these lows, which is why I don't really love the fact that we are losing that value area right now. So absolutely key levels. 2920, right? That 786, and this daily level at 2880. Absolutely key to hold these levels. Otherwise, we could start a much bigger move to the downside. And then looking at market cipher, let's pull up the daily. Bada boom. Yeah, so Money flow is coming back up on the daily, right? Very similar to Bitcoin. So we would really like to see that. Like, not fully bearish yet, right? Like, we still need to break these levels. We could technically still put in a higher low on that on these fib zones, or even bounce off that daily. I would really prefer to hold that 786, to be quite honest. But if we don't hold, if we put that higher low and then that money flow continues up, then boom. Looking similar to Bitcoin, maybe we're going to get that fake out, but we start cracking that 786 in this daily. I am getting a little bit, not concerned. I'm not like, oh my God, ETH is going to zero. But, in the grand scheme of things, I will be honest, as we've kind of bing-bonged sideways here, I will say a 10% move is going to have people very, very scared. I won't be worried, but that is going to feel like a big move down for a lot of people. So really hope we hold that 786. That's kind of the key level. And then that daily is that last line of support before we break into that lower volume area, resulting in a very likely bigger move down. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at on Ethereum. To be honest, not too much different other than just like locally being below that value area. Everything else, once we get back above that value area low, we look for the POC, flip that POC, look to go to the high. But we really, really want to hold this level here. So there you go. A little bit of Ethereum sauce for you guys. Let's see. Shout out to TikTok Vibes. What is going on? It says ADA will skyrocket soon. Yeah, I wouldn't put a date on it, but I would not be surprised if Cardano pumps at some point in the near future. Great project. I feel like I always talk about this. Pull up Cardano real quick. A lot of people hate on Cardano. And this is very, very, I think a lot of people can kind of like learn from these people in the last cycle. Everybody, I don't know what happened with Cardano. I don't know how Cardano wound up getting the rap that it got. And that was Cardano did nothing in the last bull run. It was the lowest performer. It was, I bought that thing, it went up 20%, and then it just never went up again. I don't know why people say that, right? Shout out to Alex Becker. Alex Becker's hilarious. And I get it, but I don't really get it. Everyone's saying ADA underperformed. I don't really agree with that, right? When I was looking at Cardano, shout out to my boy Fought Gaming. I don't know if he's in here. Sometimes he watches the show. But back in 2020, we were talking. I was talking about Cardano. Oh, actually, no, it probably wasn't 2020. It was probably 2020, the beginning of 2021, maybe. Wherever 12 cents is. Yeah, so like probably right up here was where I was saying like, hey, this looks like an interesting project. Chart looks pretty good. Like, maybe we should look at this. And I bought a bunch of it, and I didn't, right? Cardano is not one that I was heavy in last bull market. I wish I had. But if you were buying down here at 10 to 12 cents, I don't know who complains about a $2,600% gain. Right, like I don't think that's underperforming. It's not like it didn't like 5,000x, I guess, but like I don't know, I don't know anybody who would complain about a 2,600% gain. I think the problem with Cardano is a lot of the FOMO didn't come in until like right here, right? So then you go from 83 cents. Right, and then you go 243%, which is still a pretty nice gain, but not for somebody who is just looking to get rich overnight, right? It's not going to make you rich overnight unless you got millions of dollars, and at that point, you're already rich. But yeah, I don't know why ADA gets that bad rap. I disagree with that. Like, ADA did great from where I was looking at it. I just should have bought it. But I had a bunch of other stuff that did very well. Shout out to VeChain. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Said, pin my next comment for alts. Wait, hang on a second. Rob the crypto stuff. Shout out to Rob. Altcoin votes are in and being counted. And Chemistry Bro coming in. Are you guys working as a team? Are you guys tag teaming with the altcoins? Let's go. But shout out to Chem Bro and Rob the Crypto Snob and all of our mods. But they were the altcoin guys. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna come over to these. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. I'm gonna come back. Yo, Billy's a menace. A lot of you guys, Creighton's a menace. John Wick, I'm going to shout out to John Wick. I actually watched that movie for the first time in full last weekend. But anyway, I'm going to come back to the Super Chats in just a second. I want to get all this out of the way so I can get all the sauce out there because we are probably going to wrap up somewhat soon, maybe. I don't know. But shout out to Crypto Billy. I'm going to come back to these in a second. You guys are crazy. Hey, Tony D, they love you, bro. They absolutely love you. But let's see. Shout out to Tyler Durden said Frank Robb was busy training for a marathon. Is that true? Yo, shout out to Rob. Rob, are you really training for a marathon? Let me know. I would not do good in a marathon right now. Maybe one day, though. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. I actually didn't plan on doing TA on Cardano. Oh, it's actually the first one on the list. Okay, boom. So let's do some TA on Cardano. But also shout out to Cardano. I don't think this was an underperformer last cycle. I think a lot of people are going to sleep on Cardano because of everyone saying they didn't make a lot of money last cycle. But just understand that those people who are saying they did not have a lot of money or make a lot of money on Cardano were buying the top, right? They did not buy when people were scared, right? Buy the fear, sell the greed. Don't buy the greed and then say I only got a 2x, right? So just keep that in mind. Cardano is a great project. Shout out to Hosky. But let's continue on here, right? So we actually were looking at this, I think somewhat recently, or maybe it was another altcoin set up in a very similar manner with this daily bullish divergence, right, which is now confirmed. To be honest, it's like not giving you a lot of oomph, right? We want a little more chutzpah on this. Put a little more chutzpah on it. I don't even think chutzpah means what I'm saying it means. I think chutzpah means like BS. But shout out to Tony D said, I'll donate 10% of the rev to Curtis as a birthday gift. I mean, shout out to Curtis Neal. He said it. Tony D said it, not me. So there you go. Shout out to Curtis Neal. Tony, it's up to you, brother. It's your money, but I will definitely support that if it's cool with you. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, is that fair? I mean, 50-50. Shout out to Dave. I don't know what that original chat was. Shout out to Dave Digital. Man, I'm dying to know, though. I'll tell you that. Shout out to Dave Digital. But let's continue on here, right? So we do technically have a bullish divergence here on the daily, which could potentially mark a bottom, right? And we could potentially get a move up back above this value area. But to be quite honest with you, pretty clear cut here. If we get a move up, right, key resistance is very clearly, I'm going to move this daily right here. We are hitting key resistance, right? Or not key, but like this daily is going to be significant resistance. If we break, I would make this kind of a range, right? That daily plus the value area low, right? We got to get above both these levels, right? You got to crack the daily, get back above the value area low, and then we could potentially get a move back up to our next level, which is going to be at 51 cents, where we have another daily horizontal. And then, obviously, once we get above this value area low, once we remain above it, that's where you're anticipating a fill of the range to the POC and potentially back to the value area high. But we have to understand there are some other levels here, right? So don't be surprised if we get a little turbulence around this daily, right? Maybe we come down, come back to put in a higher low, right? And then even if you were to pull that fib, right, if we did come up to that daily, this is obviously, you cannot predict this. This is very speculative. But if you came up to that daily and you start pulling back and you pull your fib, that golden pocket is going to be somewhat confluent with this value area low, which would make it a high probability area to put in a higher low. In confluence with the value area low. Did I say higher low? And then this would be a high probability area to put a higher low in. And then at that point, you could potentially look for that range to fill. But just don't be surprised, right? We understand that price action is messy. The simple theory is flip the value area low. Next place price is likely to go is going to be the POC. Once you flip the POC, next likely place is the value area high. But obviously, there are a lot of levels in between that you still need to be keeping an eye on, right? And expect turbulence on. And these would be the two levels, right? Get above here. I think you can make it to the daily, flip that, and then eventually make it up to the POC. And if you can get back above that POC daily, that's where you look for the value area high. Very simply put, this daily bull div, I'll be honest, it didn't really give you that much oomph. But yeah, we're right up against that resistance. We pop above this, I would look for a move back up. So there you go. Taking a look at the higher time frames, green dot looking to print on the 5-day. 4-day, green dot confirmed, didn't really give you much, right? So that's very interesting. But your money flow, look at your money flow. Starting to trend back up here. Very interesting. But those are the key levels I'd be watching. 12-hour money flow actually not looking horrible. Kind of trying to creep back up towards that 0 line. Let's check that 8-hour. Yeah, money flow has been, it's been wonked out for so long, right? It's like fake out into the green, and then we just keep making lower lows. So kind of hard to call this. Even this is just absolute choppy mess. But yeah, 2-hour money flow looking for a crossover into the green. So yeah, you're tapping on the door, right? That value area low right here would be the doorway to higher prices, right? So go ahead and grab that text box, bada boom, go doorway to higher prices, right? DWTHP. And that's going to be right on that value area low. Break that, probably going to give you a bigger move to the upside. So there you go. Shout out to Flat Smack in the chat. What is going on, bro? Flat Smack that like button. Don't forget, Tony D, all he wants for his birthday, he doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the birthday presents. All he wants is 750 likes on the Frankie Candles live stream. He said it, not me. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Tiago. What is going on? Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. And Curtis Neal, guys. Don't forget Curtis Neal's birthday as well. Wish him, give him some love in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Seek Parabolic said when BTC hits 80K, Ada will get okay. Hey, shout out to you, brother. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I agree. That's probably gonna be true. That's probably gonna be true, brother. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Take a look at Link. I'm drinking that Aztecian and Cactus Moss juice for Tony D's birthday. Let's go. I don't know what we're doing, guys. I don't think we're doing anything too crazy. I think we're just going out to dinner. But I'm going to be talking really fast at dinner. But anyway, let's see. Dave Digital said, technically Tony D cares about 90% of the money. Shout out to Tony D and shout out to Dave. But let's go ahead and, shout out to Crypto Maxi says, it's not all about the Benjamins. I could agree with you there. Actually, I was watching a video yesterday and they were saying that the effect that money has on your happiness actually has a oh my God, that's a reflection. I thought I just had like a bunch of stuff on my hat. They say that a bulk of the happiness that money brings you falls off heavily after $75,000 to $100,000 a year. And like that is the biggest jump of happiness. And then from 100,000 on, they say like the happiness just plateaus. Like the money cannot really make you happier once you pass 75 to 100K. That's what the video said. I don't know who made the video, but it kind of makes sense. But anyway, okay. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Tony D said you guys are menaces. But anyway, let's continue on here and take a look at our next altcoin, which is going to be, I thought it was Link. It's actually XRP. Let's check out XRP, which, shocker. Oh my God, XRP is in the same spot. Yo, this is crazy, bro. This is absolutely insane. We put this, this is unbelievable. We put this setup in the, on the live stream, right? Saying, hey, guys, I don't even remember the context of this, to be honest, but we probably had something to do with flipping that value area low to support. We put this long setup for free on the live stream, and since we did that, I mean, we got a nice move up, to be honest, right? Like a nice 14% pump. Plenty of profit to be had. Then we just went sideways for literally a month. So I can't believe that XRP is still in the same situation. This is crazy. I don't know what to say. I'll take a look at Market Cypher. I'll try to give you guys some sauce on this, but I'm just going to preface it with this. This is in the exact same position as it has been every time we've looked at it for the past month, right? Or honestly, not even. For the past, for about a month, right? We're holding support. We're holding the value area low, which technically, think about how brutal this is. I'm not in this trade, right? I didn't take this. But like, imagine taking this and you're like, oh my God, I'm up 14%. Oh my God, it's going to zero. Oh my God, I'm in the red. Oh my God, I'm back up. Oh my God, it's going back to zero. This is a brutal type of trade to be in, right? I've been in these trades, right? You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. You didn't get stopped out. You didn't hit take profit, and you're just sitting there for a month, right? Now, this isn't a scalp. This would be a higher time frame trade. But, this is the stomach you have to have for trading, right? Now, a lot of people, it's much easier said than done to sit through all this, right? And not close it out, because you're bored, right? Because sure, maybe this just absolutely dumps and you get stopped out, which is brutal after waiting a whole month of like being up and down. But a lot of times, like I get into a lot of positions that'll do this, right? And they'll be like, oh my God, and then finally it plays out. And I just look at it and I'm like sometimes it's brutal, right? Like, or even when I backtest strategies, right? Shout out to the chart nerds out there. I can't tell you. Last night, I literally sat on the chart. I was sitting on this giant beanbag I have on my phone, backtesting a strategy in bar replay mode. Like hundreds of positions, and I play it in bar replay mode, right? So you don't actually have to wait for the candles. You literally just hit play, and price moves super fast. And like a position like that, just watching it play out in sped up time here can be brutal just to watch like that. And I'm like, oh my God, if I took that trade in real time, that would have been absolutely brutal. I would have had to wait months for it to play out. But yeah, absolutely insane. I can't believe that XRP has not moved here. But this would technically still be valid as we remain above this value area low. Key level of support, 49, about 50 cents, right? You get the psychological level. It's also your value area low of this somewhat of a macro range. And even when we pull it all the way to the current price, like it doesn't even really move, right? So as long as we remain above this level, guys, I will say, could potentially see this continue where, right? Where's the next likely place for price to go? Well, hold above that value area low. You're going to be looking up towards that POC, which to be honest is pretty nice, right? Because if you look here, quick move down, right? Could potentially, once we start pushing up here, give us a quick move up. But it just like, we got to get in there, right? We got to get it to start because it's definitely not moving quick right now. But the nice thing here is your POC and your value area high are very close, right? So what does this mean, right? Basically, it means you don't have to make, there's not much here. Well, I guess there kind of is, right? Let me just see this. There's value area low there. So yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah. It's nice, right? Because that POC is going to act as a magnet, and that next likely place for price to go, you don't have to stop halfway. Granted, you do have that value area low I just pulled up, but your next likely place to go is going to be 62 cents. So typical value area stuff. Other than that, like pretty in the same situation as it's been in, right? Now looking at Market Cipher, taking a look at the money flow, like. You had a green dot on the 2-day. That's not looking too bad. Your money flow is looking the same as Bitcoin. Like, we really need this to skirt to the upside, technically, just like on Bitcoin, until this crosses into the green. Again, just like Bitcoin, until that crosses into the green, this is binarily bearish, right? Like, but again, where we are in the cycle, I'm not going to repeat. I'm not going to say it again, just because I've been beating that dead horse for a while. And I love animals, guys. I hate beating dead horses, but sometimes when Bitcoin goes sideways, you just got to look at the same stuff because we just got nothing else to look at. But money flow technically headed in the right direction here. Not beautiful, but let's check the lower time frames. Well, you got the money flow crossover on the 12-hour, which is nice. But, I mean, again, like, look at this. Market is so choppy. Fake out into the green. Fake out into the green. Fake out into the green. Is this just going to be another fake out into the green? And we're going to bing-bong around for another month? I don't know. This is brutal. This is brutal, guys. But, technically, the crossover into the green would be, maybe this is the time where we actually see it play out. But, let's take a look at the 16-hour. 16-hour back in the green as well. Ugh, yeah, this thing is choppy. This is not clear at all. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, look at this. It's coming up. Now it's coming out. Look at the 10-hour. It's like yeeting back to the downside. Take a look at the 4 hours coming out. Yeah, this is choppy. I think you might, like, when you see this, guys, it's typically indicative of sideways price action. So, this is hard. I would say same thing. Hold this key level. You break it. Probably going lower. Let me see. We have any MPOCs down here? Not really. Not really. Take a look at the weekly. Ugh, God. This is brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Well, your next key level of support, in my opinion, if you do get a breakdown, key support or your next bigger level of support is probably going to be, come on, indicators. Come on, indicators. Is it not going to work? Come on. All right, I guess it's not going to work. But I would probably be looking at this weekly naked point of control. This is worth noting. Again, it's very choppy. I'm not saying we're going to get a move down to 36 cents, but if we got some kind of a dump out of nowhere, like this weekly naked point of control would be something to watch, but I mean, nothing's really calling for that. But yeah, I would just might be in for a bore fest here on XRP. Key level of support, 50 cents. You got to hold above 50 cents. Other than that, same old on XRP. Unbelievably boring. Crazy. XRP is a stable coin, 100% at this point. Doesn't mean, yo, shit, you guys are funny. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Creighton C. Yo, says, why are you trying to give the XRP holders hope? Come on, man. Just rip off the Band-Aid. Ripple just sells into the pumps. Hashtag scam. Mike's screen cap this for Randy. Shout out to Randy. Shout out to Creighton C. Yeah, I mean, guys, I hold a bunch of XRP, but as I've said many times on the show, I am not continuing to buy XRP. Not because I'm bearish on it, but just because Thank God I stopped buying XRP a while ago because all that money that I would have used to buy XRP, I've put into other things that have gone up in value. So, yeah, I mean, I do think XRP will eventually pump here. But, again, you know, I am done buying XRP. But I also have a decent bag of it, right? You know, it's not like I have enough XRP. Like, even if I was still bullish on it, like, I would probably be deploying my capital in other coins just because my XRP bag's pretty big. So, let's go ahead and continue on here. We got XRP. Let's take a look at Link. Bada boom. Whew, baby. Okay, so here we are. Shout out to the volume profiles, guys. I just don't know anything that works as good as the volume profiles. Unbelievable. So here we are, right? Bing-bonging around below that range. And then let's go ahead and take a look at Market Cipher really quickly here. You know, no real bullish divergences here, but you did have your momentum coming up. Let's take a look at the 2-day. Yeah, we didn't know bull divs, but you know, this was probably a point. This is probably something a lot of people were looking at as a little bit more bearish, right? Looks kind of like a bullpen. It looks like bearish consolidation, but boop, pop right to the upside. But simply put here, I mean, 2-day green dot printing, 3-day green dot printing, 4-day green dot printing, 5-day green dot printing, 6-day green dot printing, weekly green dot incoming. So question is, are you going to complete this head and shoulders? That would be ugly. Definitely in the cards there. But I will say that green dot on the weekly, if you're going to get a big move up here on Link, I would be watching that weekly green dot. The 6, 5, 4, 3-day green dots are good signs, but we need that money flow to get back into the green, right? That red money flow is a little sketch. But daily money flow flowing back to the upside. Let's check that 12-hour. 12-hour money flow starting to trend back up here. But look at the volume profiles and how they're respected, right? What happens? Little rejection on that value area low, and then boom, you smash right through it, and bada boom, right to that value area high. So I would be looking at this as your current range. Local resistance, 1589, value area high. I'll actually label that. Right? And this is beautiful. It gives us nice context on where price is going to likely go next, right? Not guaranteeing, but very likely. So you have your value area high, POC value area low. If we continue up here, you got to break this, and then we'll talk about that in a second. But wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a little bit. No bearish divergence here on the 1 hour. Yeah, no bear divs. That's a good sign. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little resistance here. But if we pull back, right, we know that the next likely place would be POC, value area low. But I don't know if you're going to make it back down to that value area low. I'd really like to see this, 2-hour money flow crossover into the green, which would make you anticipate a potential continuation to the upside in the context of that 2-hour, right? Doesn't mean that we're likely to yeet up, 5,000%, but locally, this would potentially make me anticipate, right, a lackluster move to the downside to put in a higher low and then continue to the upside. Now, to be honest with you, the POC golden pocket is I don't know. I'd be watching this POC and the value. I'd be using this as at the value area, right? Like this is just very simply the roadmap. We continue down. I would look at that POC. I don't normally like to trade the POC, right? It's the middle of the range. It's simply put, a low probability area to trade. However, and it's not even the most beautiful confluence, right? Like if I pull from the low to the high, like what if I even pull to this lower high? You do have some kind of confluence here, to be honest with you. Like, let's see, high, low, break the high. Yeah, I would probably be looking at this POC as support, right? Like pretty important support, because if you're going to put that higher low in to continue to the upside, this would be somewhat of a decent place to put in that higher low. And then you have the 786 value area low, right? So in the medium term, these are going to be key levels to watch based off the volume profile and Fibonacci. But, more locally, you could potentially pull your fib. Yeah, I don't know. It's a less significant swing here. But you could look at this local retracement as well. But I would probably, I'd probably put a little more weight on these two key levels, right? And these levels are between 1462 and 1447. And then we have these levels down here at 1418 and 1397. So those are going to be key support. Now, if we do wind up getting a bigger breakout, simply put, we're going to look above to our macro. And let me actually get rid of some of this stuff because this is old. Whoops. So simply put, right, we're just back in this volume profile, right? Like, this is how I use the volume profiles. We respected this. We built value, a significant amount of value here as we were testing the macro value area low, and we knew once we broke above this, we could look for a bigger move into the range, right? We finally hit our target. I don't know if you guys have been watching or how long you've been watching for, but this daily naked point of control was a target on link for quite some time, and we just boop, tapped right on it. Absolutely beautiful. But the context here, guys, is local range, right? We came into the macro range, which is up here, couldn't hold it, and when you lose this, what are you going to be looking down to? Simply put, the lower value area. And then you bing bong around back in this range. You kind of respect the levels a little bit. So the mission here for more price to the price movements to the upside would be a breakout of this and a flip at this key level here, which is the doorway to higher prices, still sitting at $17, right? So if you want, maybe we get something like this, a little higher low, breakout, flip this to support. That's where we could see the bigger move to the upside. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Okay, let's go ahead and check our next altcoin, which is going to be INJ. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm going to get into the super chats after INJ, and then we'll wrap it up with ABT. Shout out to Tony D. Says 500 likes, and I drive to Frank's and crash the stream. Well, shout out to Tony D. I don't even know if you can get here fast enough because we only got 2 altcoins left. Shout out to Tony D. But with all that being said, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. You guys are funny. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Okay. Yeah, Tony better have just said challenge accepted. Yeah, Tony D is probably going to knock on my door in 30 seconds. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. But let's go ahead and take a look at INJ. Bada boom. And here we are. I was actually looking at this before. This 786. Talk about holding it by the skin of your teeth. They go, slipped it. Slipped it. Slipped it. Oh, God. I'm trying to hold on here. I will be honest. Let's take a look at a higher time frame here. Let me see. Yeah, tap that value area high. Look at that. Boop. I mean, I'll be honest. Lower lows, higher lows. Green dot printing on the daily. This is technically indicative of a continuation up, right? Money flow kind of still coming out, but that bull div could potentially give you a little squeeze, a little bit more of a pop to the upside. Let me get rid of this level. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. That daily naked point of control is still valid. You guys are funny. All right. All right. Yeah, this bull div is not bad, right? Let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Green dot looking to print. 6-day green dot looking to print. 5-day green dot looking to print. 4-day printing. 3-day printing. And then the daily and the 2-day are also printing. So you technically have a 2-day bull div here as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you can get a little pop to the upside. We really, really need money flow to come back up. Like, this does not look good on the 2-day, to be honest. Yeah, 3-day, this is pretty bearish, right? Like, just from a technical perspective, like, this money flow coming out is not typically what you see before a massive move to the upside. Like, doesn't mean you can't get a massive move up, right? It's not just because the indicators are pointing down doesn't mean that it has to go down. But, like, typically what you want to see here is you want to see money flow, like, upside down, right? You basically want to invert this scale. Right? You would want to see money flow in the red crossing into the green. If that were the case with a daily bullish divergence and a 2-day bullish divergence and a 3-day bullish divergence, in that case, I am simply calling for a big move up, right? Like, that would be very bullish, but that's just simply not what we're seeing here, right? It's literally the opposite. So I don't want to say you can't come up, but, you know, money flow is definitely not going to be pointing in that direction, right? But these bull divs could give you a little local pop to the upside, but based off money flow, I would be careful. Yeah, I would be careful here, right? You do have a significant amount of, yeah. So I would probably be looking at this more locally right about like this, I would go neutral, and let's bada boom, value area high, POC, value area low, and I'm sorry, this is the 786. I'm going to hide this 786, and let's see. So yeah, I would be looking at this as your local context. Bada boom. Value area low sitting right here at 2271. POC sitting at 2541. And your value area high sitting at 2690. So here, this is actually kind of nice, guys. If you hold above that value area low, this is kind of your key level, right? Like, to be quite honest with you. And if I pull this fib, don't have beautiful confluence there. But this is definitely your key level, right? Hold above this value area low. Maybe that daily bull div can give you a little bit of a squeeze to the upside, right? And then, it wouldn't just necessarily be like zoomed out looking for like a massive, massive, massive move up like that, but rather based off money flow, right? You have to be careful with that money flow not looking that great on the higher time frames. That daily bull div can give you a little local move up, but I'd be looking in the context of this POC sitting at 2541 and this value area high sitting at 2690. So that is, for the most part, what I'd be looking at. These are going to be kind of the local levels and the local context that I'd be looking at INJ in. So there you go. Let's go ahead and, all right, we got ABT. Should we do the super chats or ABT first? Shout out to Creighton C, says 45 watch likes fly. Shout out to French Toaster. And shout out to Arb Gamer. Thank you for the super chat. Said, yo, Frankie, can you check out Kadena? And check out the long-term target. Please, thanks, much love. Shout out to Arb Gamer. I appreciate you, bro. I will try to take a look at Arb in just a second, but maybe let's, I'm going to try to jump through some of these super chats. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Curtis Neal, said, make sure you play 2 Chainz birthday song for Tony D. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Yeah, well, how's that go? We got to play that. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Wick589 says, micro challenge for Frankie. What do volume profiles do for you that simple lines cannot? Shout out to Wick589. What? Is this a riddle? Shout out to Wick. Is this a riddle? I don't know if this is a genuine question or a riddle. What can volume profiles do that simple lines cannot? They cannot provide me value areas. I don't know. Shout out to Wick589. Shout out to Dave Digital. Nothing. He's right behind you. What are you, Frank Turner? Yo, my God! Joke's on you, pal. Oh my God! How did you get in here? I crawled. Dude, there's no way you crawled by me and I didn't know.
I James Bond crawled right through the door. He's so locked into the charts, he didn't know.
Yo, there's no way. This was so much louder than I thought. Shout out to Tony D. Happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone. I love you. Can they hear that?
I don't know. I think you guys can hear that. There's no way.
I love you all. Thank you.
Shout out to Tony D. That was way louder than I thought. How? There's no way. Mrs. Candles just let you in?
I know how to get into your house.
Oh, that's good. That's good. He said, I know how to get into your house. Okay. Well, shout out to Tony D. Yo, my heart is going to explode. There's... Okay. New rule, guys. I'm locking the door to the studio anytime I'm live because I don't think everybody's going to be as friendly as Tony D. That is insane. How long was he sitting there for? Was he just in the background? Are you kidding me? Dude, there's no way that just happened. Okay, well, shout out to Tony D. Oh my God, Mrs. Candle's gonna hate me for this confetti. Shout out to Tony D. Happy birthday. I can't believe he just did that. I need to keep OBS open and on the big screen so I can see if there's like a murderer behind me. Woo, good Lord. All right. That was, okay. Let me collect myself here for a second. Oh my God. All right. Yo, shout out. I thought you guys were trolling. That is absolutely crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Kadena real quick for our boy Arb Gamer. Hey, Arb, how come we're not looking at Arbitrum? Shout out to you, bro. I'll take a look at Kadena. But I feel like we should be looking at Arb for you. Yo, I can't believe that. Yo, I'm like, my hands are shaking. Scared me. Oh, my God. Whew. I didn't scream like it was like a high-pitched scream, was it? Yikes. All right. What are we looking at? Arb. No, not Arb. We're looking at Kadena. Jeez. Okay. Unbelievable. That really kind of makes me nervous that someone could just sneak into the studio like that. All right. We got to change where the cameras are facing or something. But anyway, we're going to get to the super chats right after Kadena, guys. Did I say, Mrs. Candles, if you ever let him in this house and don't tell me he's coming, that thing was way louder than I thought it was. I know. I'm sorry, Mrs. Candles. Show him Mrs. Candles' hand while I take a look at Kadena. How do you feel about Kadena?
I feel great. There's one on your head.
Sorry. Okay, let's continue on. Have never licked the hand live on stream. That was a first. Okay, yeah. All right, let's take a look at Kadena here really quick. That's Kadena Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Kadena US dollar. Okay. So for Kadena here, let me go ahead and catch up to chat. Unbelievable. Yo, shout out to Creighton C. Said you screamed like a girl. All-time Rick roll. Talk about, Tony D's the famous Rick roller. That's like a Rick give Frankie Candles a heart attack. I can't believe that. I did not expect that popper to have actual explosives in it either. I thought it was going to be like a spring. So I thought I was going to surprise him if he, I thought I was going to run downstairs because I did know he was coming here. I didn't think that he was going to be in the actual studio. I was going to scare him with the thing, but unbelievable. Anyway, taking a look here on Kadena, let me go ahead and take a quick run through Market Cipher first. Take a look at the daily. Okay, now, hi, I'll be honest with you guys. Money flow does not look great, right? It's coming out, but look at the daily bull div. Is this... Yeah, it's confirmed. I hate that this VWAP is flopping over like this because this daily bull div does not look too bad, right? Like, nice, clean bull div here. Let's pull up the VPVR real quick. Yeah, right into this high-volume node. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that bull div, but that money flow doesn't look good, and that bull div's, like, not giving you much oomph here. Like, we really want to see this thing start to move. Take a look at the 3-day green dot, but look at the money flow. We need this money flow to come back up. I mean, this is binarily not looking good, especially when that bull div on the daily like just flops over like that. We get another red dot. If we get a VWAP flop here on, Kadena, this is likely. That's gonna be pretty bearish in my opinion. So let me go ahead and mark out some of these key levels. Let's pull up to the weekly. Change some settings in this real quick. Bada boom. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Literally gave me these settings. Sometimes it doesn't work on everything for some reason, though. So I guess I'll just go back to the other ones. But they do typically give better levels. I'll be honest. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Dropping that sauce in the premium Discord. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Not only do you get the sauce from Frankie Candles in there, you get the Darren Does Things, not only crypto sauce, but also Forex sauce. If you're into the foreign exchange. I'm more into the degenerate crypto exchange. But yeah, shout out to Darren Does Things. Crushes the Forex trades. But let's see here. So let's see. Weekly key level, right? So we do get another move to the downside. You do have a weekly naked point of control. Sitting right here at 72.7231. That does not look too bad. Or, I mean, that's definitely there. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, you have a daily naked point of control just above that. Sitting right there. Let's go ahead and hide this. So, yeah, you actually do have nice confluence here on these naked points of control. So if you do get another move down, you do know they have somewhat of support down there. Go ahead and pull this macro. Let's pull this fib here. Let's go to the absolute low. Not good. Not good. You don't want to lose that 786. And if you do, you definitely want to bounce off this level and get right back above it. But to be honest, like this actually doesn't really look that great, to be honest, just from like a chart perspective. Doesn't mean that we can't pump. But it's like we got a yeah, now I'm on edge. Mrs. Candles just jumped in. Oh, yo, look at you all spiced up. Show the Mafia. Come on.
Show the Mafia what?
I don't, show them your outfit. Looking good.
We have to go to dinner.
Okay, sorry. They're yelling at me, guys. I'm late. But shout out to Mrs. Candles. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a key level you want to hold. Let's pull up that VPVR real quick. Bada boom. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, if you don't hold this, probably getting a little bit more of a move down here. Down to this high volume node, potentially at about 61 cents. But let's see if we can hold this. See if we can hold these 2 naked points of control. So this key level of support, in my opinion, between 75 and 71 cents. Definitely going to be something you want to hold. Other than that, I will be honest, those daily bull divs not playing out is not really a great sign, in my opinion. But other than that, kind of choppy. Money flow not giving really any super clear signals. 12-hour coming up, that would be a good sign, but your VWAP's, I think maybe you bing-bong around here a little bit more. Even if you are going to get a move up, I think you do have a little bit more to go here, and then maybe we get that bigger move up. But definitely going to be a key level here between between 75 and 71 cents. So there you go. Not really too much to look at. I mean, even if I pull a volume profile here, it's going to be all wonked out. Like, I wouldn't really even pay attention to that. So that's going to be kind of the golden key level. If we lose that, probably going to get a bigger move to the downside. And with all that being said, guys, shout out to Arb Gamer. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. And let me just go ahead and cover these super chats super quick. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Thank you guys for showing so much love to Tony, because Tony helps me out endlessly, and just like the mods do. But, you know, Tony D does a lot behind the scenes, and I would genuinely be lost without him. So happy birthday to Tony, and shout out to everybody for dropping the super chats. Shout out to Curtis Neal, said, LFG, buy that man some birthday ice cream. Curtis Neal says, well, it's Tony's birthday, and he needs a B-Day night out on me. This should cover it. Yeah, shout out to Creighton. Creighton super chatted like 7 times, I think. Wick says, candles on cake. Tony D's flames. Did they set off the sprinklers? Tisk. Sorry. Sorry you that old, man. Happy birthday, brother. Shout out to Wick 589. Tony D just super chatting, trying to glitch the system. Creighton C said, what? The first super chat was for the Coke Girl. We read that. Shout out to Creighton C, bro. So $100 is crazy, bro. Shout out to you. Tony D trying to scam the system again. Retro Mike said, Crayon to Creighton told me to wish Tony D a happy birthday or he would leak more deets about me. Shout out to Retro Mike. Retro Mike, you are a mysterious man. You really are. Shout out to K Diggity, said Mafia contribution to the Tony D birthday fund. Shout out to you, bro. K Diggity always coming through, and I'm not hitting the super chat button. We're hitting that GOAT button for you, bro. Creighton C says, thanks, Mikey Pickles. Mikey Pickles. It says, thanks, Mikey Pickles. And yes, I would have leaked more details. John Wick with $100. Let's it go. Shout out to you, bro. Showing appreciation for Tony D. Happy B-Day, Tony. Don't spend it all in one. Don't spend it all in one song. I mean dance. I mean place. Shout out to John Wick. We're going to hit that jukebox. He's going to blow it all. Shout out to John Wick. Yo, that's super generous, guys. Thank you so much. I know Tony appreciates it. Thank you guys for doing that. Creighton C says, not for lap dances. No lap dances. We're with Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles would never allow that. She's like our chaperone. Shout out to Creighton C. Dropping a hot dog. Dropping a, is that a peach or an orange? I think it's a peach. Is that a peach? Shout out to Creighton C, bro. French Toaster said, Tony D for lap dances. Are you guys sending us a signal? I don't think Mrs. Candles will let that fly, but we could send Tony in. Shout out to you guys. French Toaster with the gifted memberships. Thank you so much, bro. Tony D trying to scam the system. Creighton C, yo, these super chats are crazy. Creighton C says, 500 likes, and I drive to Frankie's, crash the stream, and give Tony a lap dance. Sunshine Cali at your service. Yo, Tony put the dollar bill in your mouth. Watch how I take it. Hidden talent. Shout out to Creighton C. Creighton, are you in an ATL right now? Shout out to Creighton. Coin Watcher says, Tony D, happy. Shout out to Coin Watcher. Thank you guys so much. Daily Hoddle said, on which candle do you start drawing the value area from? Tutorial videos show it from the start of the impulse move, but you aren't doing that now. Shout out to Daily Hoddle. For the most part, it is more of an art than a science for me. I don't always pull it from the exact same place. A lot of times I pull it on the impulse candle, but sometimes it really depends on the price action or what the range looks like. And sometimes I'll even move it And then, like, I don't really like the way the range looks, so I will pull it back to the left or the right, depending on what the actual... It's different. It depends on the context, right? So it's going to be different in every situation. But yes, there is really no wrong or right way to draw the volume profiles, in my personal opinion, because it's just measuring volume. So, yeah, hopefully that helps you out. And I will go into that more on another live stream. Shout out to Creighton C. Says, Ron isn't here. Wait, who? Rob. Oh, Rob. Rob isn't here, so I'll count. I saw Solana, Pepe, Bush, Link, and Litecoin. Rolls his eyes. Pin this. Ignore Tyler. He's just guessing. Shout out to Creighton. Shout out to Carlito dropping that piece of birthday cake for Tony D. Tony D trying to scam the system again. Creighton C says, why are you trying to give the XRP holders hope? We read that one. John Wick with another $20 for Tony says, for drinks and birthday dinner. Shout out to John Wick. Tony D trying to scam the system. Arb Gamer, we got you. Wick said micro challenge. We got that. Dave Digital said, no, he's right behind you. We read that. You screamed like a girl. We read that. Dude, Tony is a handsome. Tony's handsome. When does Anthony get his own cooking show? Shout out to Anthony or Tony. Maybe we should give him a cooking show. Trust me, Tony D is absolutely unbelievably talented at cooking. It's actually insane. He could have his own show. So shout out to Tony D. Tony D cooking show coming very soon. Crypto cooking, crypto rest. I don't know. Shout out to Creighton C. Haters gonna cry. Said Matic and Dot, please. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Let's go ahead and move that into tomorrow's stream. We will start with Matic and Dot for our boy Haters gonna cry. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you guys so much for showing love to Tony D. We're gonna go have dinner, and I don't know. Maybe we'll end up somewhere else in ATL. But shout out to the Mafia. Thank you guys for showing so much love. And I will see you guys right here, same place, same time. Let's hope Bitcoin can continue that move through that volume profile into that $67,000 POC, flip that daily naked point of control to support, and move right up to that value area high and creep up closer and closer to 70K and beyond. With all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. You know the rest. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Happy birthday, Tony D. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Oh no, the stream deck's broken. Oh God.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less.
Instant Frankie fake out. How did I miss this? I don't know why this wasn't on the list. Shout out to Crypto Billy, dropping $100 for Tony D. I saw this come in. I don't know how I didn't realize I didn't read it. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Said, I heard there's a birthday party. I come bearing gifts. Happy birthday, Tony. Hashtag FCU. Hashtag FYP. Hashtag Givers Gain. Crypto Billy, you absolute menace. Dropping $100 on our boy Tony D. And with all that being said, they are pissed downstairs. I am late. That's all I got, guys. I'll see you. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Creighton. Shout out to everybody, John Wick, everyone who drops those super chats for Tony. I know he appreciates it. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.